Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Get At It Gaming Plus podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ben,
I'm Alex.
and we do a weekly podcast talking about all things nerdy, whether it be video games, whether it be movies, anime, comics, you name it. That was my dog. This is not the way I want to start it, but anyway, great show today. We're going to talk about Sony's tone deaf email that was sent out. We're going to talk about the ACEN COVID changes. And then we're going to talk about PlayStation Plus. They had a list of what their PlayStation Plus tiers are going to look like and what games are going to come out. And Alex and I have a lot to say about that. Um, before we get into that, we're going to talk about what we're playing and hidden trophies. But if I can go on a quick tangent, Alex, I didn't tell you I was going to do this.
Oh, wow.
But it is Mental Health Awareness Month here. I don't know if many people know this, but I work in the industry of mental health.
Here, wait.
I
Let
think.
me do this. There you go.
Oh,
You got the floor to yourself.
Okay. It's very important with everything we have going on to understand mental health and to get help when you need it. And I also think that life is very stressful. So find that thing for yourself to kind of let things go and to relax and let your stresses go. And it's super important to have those things um, available. And with it being Mental Health America Month or Mental Health uh, Awareness Month, I just want to kind of bring that up. I know our listeners, maybe you are dealing with mental health, but it's okay. There's definitely places to get help. So that was my tangent.
All right.
I did it. So we're gonna start with Alex. Alex, what have you been playing, or what hidden trophies do you have?
What I've been playing. So I've been playing a bunch of random things. I'm testing out a bunch of things. I also have a bunch of hidden trophies here or there, but they're all out in the other room. So I was stupid and didn't bring them in here. It's just a bunch of random stuff. I've been testing out my PS2 some more, my Japanese PS2. I've been also testing out just some 3DS games I bought and stuff like that. But the thing I played probably the most is probably actually no, I didn't think I think I streamed. No, I didn't stream Dot Hack last week. I don't think I did. Yeah. So the only thing I've really been playing, I would say, is I got Switch Sports and I played a little bit of that, and I played it in bed too. But you can't play handheld mode, so like I took off the two Joy Cons and then like did like the tabletop on the side of my bed, and I was just like bowling like this, and I kept getting strikes, I guess, because of how short my bowling was. Um, but yeah, I play online and played some of that. It's really fun for what it is. I'm sure it's even better when you're actually playing it as intended. But yeah, I enjoy it enough. I need to get back to Dot Hack and stuff, but otherwise, like I played a little bit more Kingdom Hearts on the PS2 the original Japanese Kingdom Hearts. So I am in the Alice in Wonderland stage. Alice just disappeared. So now we have to do the Cheshire's cat stuff, or maybe we just did that. I forget. But anyway, you're about to fight the fire, like the guy with the fire, like in the twirlies, the sticks, the whatever we call those, drumsticks or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I'm about to do that, and yeah, I otherwise not much else. I did buy a lot on Sunday. Shout out to Game Fox is really cool. Game Fox on Whatnot and Instagram as well. Game Fox 35, I believe. He got me a bunch of cool stuff, and I've only known this person for about like a month, and it's awesome. I mean, I bought them. I paid for games and stuff, and I asked once, but yeah, I have like 8 let's see like 5 Detective Conan games and 3 Lupin games coming in the mail. and one of the Lupin the Third games is a PS1 visual novel that is kind of like a sequel to my favorite movie. It's a sequel to The Castle of Cagliostro. It's all Japanese only and stuff like that, so I'm gonna like need to write stuff down, use a translator, all that kind of stuff. But still, like, it's a visual novel, so I should have time to pause. I should have time to like actually enjoy and read it. Um, and then so that was PS1 game. The other two Lupin games are Sega Saturn, but luckily we have a Sega Saturn that's Japanese in our household now. Um, and they're interactive movies, so I don't know what that means.
Nice.
I'm hoping that means it's Dragon's Lair or something like that. So like in there, it's like Lupin Chronicles and Lupin Case File or something. So I'm really curious to see what that means, and I'm excited for that. And then I have some Detective Conan games for PS1. I think some for, let's see, some DS ones as well, and then there's one for the Wonder Swan, which is complete in box. But I don't have a Wonder Swan yet. I do have two Detective Conan Wonder Swan games though.
Those Wonder Swans are going up in price. I mean,
Yeah,
they're not cheap.
yeah, exactly. Especially because like Wonder Swans are really interesting because they're made by Gunpei Yokoi, the person who like made the original Game Boy and like the Virtual Boy and all that kind of stuff. Um, and they're basically Game Boys for Bandai, and they take one battery, like one I think AAA or maybe AA battery, just in the back, and they just work. The first Wonder Swans are kind of like normal, like dot matrix type color. I believe they're like green. And then there's a Wonder Swan color, and then there's something called a Wonder Swan crystal, which is like a better version of the color, that has a little bit better performance and some other stuff. So it's like I don't know. It's like Game Boy Color, maybe, and then somewhere in between of Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance. Um, but yeah, I need to find one of those here soon because I'm starting to collect some of those. It'd be cool to have, especially because there are a lot of really cool Digimon games on the Wonder Swan, and they are visual novel, like RPG type stuff, as well, and they tell stories, like their own stories as well as like stories, for, I believe, connected, like loosely connected to like some of the anime and stuff, because I believe Digimon Tamers, which is the third season or third series, which is the one with like the one where they swipe the cards
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that. Actually, the one where they swipe the cards. um, yeah, I still have a Digivice sitting on my desk. The D Arc is what it's called. Um, yeah, that one, in that series, like the second half, when, spoilers for Digimon, they go to the Digiworld, big shock. But they meet someone in there, and the kid who they meet seems to be the kid from the Wonder Swan games. So it's kind of interesting how that happens. But yeah. Um, but yeah, not really playing much, not really doing much. Just kind of looking at stuff, buying some things here or there. Um, but I haven't bought anything this week if you don't count Sunday. I haven't bought anything this week yet. Actually, yeah, I don't think I bought anything Saturday either. So like, I have a couple things coming in the mail here. I have I got ended up getting another dot hack. I got dot hack infection, but the Japanese version of that. And then that's coming with some stupid free game. So get ready for another game, Ben, that you can probably just have depending on how much it's actually worth. But yeah, not really much else.
I need to get the bouncer. I
Oh, I
don't
do
own.
have the bouncer. I got that.
You bought the Japanese version, right?
Yes, and it's in English, completely in English as well.
Really?
You can switch it, so that's a thing on the back of it. Like, I guess this was a thing. I meant to text you about it. I guess that was a thing with like early PS2 games, or at least specifically with this, is that they knew that they wanted to make it English, so I guess it was dubbed first. and then they had a Japanese dialogue for it. But on the back of the box, they say like it's in either English or Japanese, and you can switch the menu to Japanese and English as well. So it's
On that,
completely in Japanese and English, and I can play it in the way that you've experienced it. I can play it with the English voices and the English menus and all that stuff, and it's the same exact game. It's just for some weird reason that's like the only game that does that.
it's like the Super Robot games, Super
Mm-hmm.
Robot Wars. Um, that is actually a Japanese Switch game,
Mm-hmm.
but when you first turn it on, it says, "Do you want English or do you want Japanese?" And so you hit English. Now all the voice work is in Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
but there's subtitles in English, so that's really cool. Um, because Alex has been getting so much stuff on Whatnot, I actually decided to log on one day, and then it caused me to buy things as well, uh, which the NES is becoming more and more difficult to buy for. It is getting more and more expensive. I presently, right now, if I have my phone real quick, um, my I started off with 60 games in one purchase, and now I have 262 games, uh, which that's a lot for this console. Um,
Yeah.
so it's taken several years, but I got for the
Oh,
listeners, I got Gauntlet 2, and I got a steal of a price on this. Um,
$10.
yeah, I mean, basically, I think I got like less than $10.
Wow.
No one wanted it. Um, but the one that I got, I have tried to buy this before, and it has not been successful. Is Destiny of the Emperor from Capcom? Um, this one is just one of those ones that's really becoming more difficult to find.
Mm-hmm.
So I paid $30 for it. It's about a $40 game, but in the last week or so, um, since I've got it, it's gone up in price already.
Oh wow.
NES for some reason is spiking. Uh, like I have an app to keep track of my games just because I have so many, just
Mm-hmm.
to make sure I don't buy duplicates because I'm never going to remember every one of those games.
It's
So
kind of I am, although I need to do that for my Japanese games now because I haven't yet.
it, I'm going to tell you it's difficult. Um, so I can go by like value of what value of stuff is, but let me tell you, like real quick. So these are the top 5 games that are rare that I own. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the two Advanced Dungeon and Dragon games are rare,
Mm-hmm.
but Batman Returns on NES,
Oh yeah.
Bubble Bobble,
Yep.
and Captain America by Data East and the Avengers are like my rarest games, and they've gone up in price a lot. Now, obviously, my Advanced Dungeons and Dragons is like $300 now,
Mm-hmm.
but I have the second one as well, Heroes. Um, but if you look at value, the top 3 obviously are, well, Dungeons and Dragons. Um, what was it at? Dungeons and Dragons, Castlevania 3, and then GI Joe. I own the
Mm-hmm.
second GI Joe. But do you know what the fourth game is? If you look by value, like how much it's worth, you will never get this. Fisher Price Firehouse Rescue.
Oh
It's
yeah.
$60 now, and I think I told you when I bought it on Whatnot,
Yeah.
I got like $30.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird. It's weird. I presently need only one more Sesame Street game, and it's very hard to come by. It's like the Count has his own NES game,
I know
and
what you're talking about. Yep.
it's hard. Um, you know, like I don't bid on ones like Knight Rider shows up all the time, and Bigfoot, and some of these other ones
Yeah.
because I feel like they're so common, everywhere.
Yep.
But some of the ones I've bought in the last couple of months, that Ren and Stimpy game, I've never seen it out.
Yeah. Nearby.
Uh, Battletoads is starting to get harder to get.
Yep.
Bubble Bobble is getting harder to get.
Yeah.
Um, I was smart and bought, what was it? Donkey Kong Jr. Black Label.
Yeah, because
Or
all Donkey Kong games are getting expensive.
I bought it for $25 and it has just gone up in price.
Yeah.
Um, which sucks as a collector. I own both Punch Outs. I own Mike Tyson,
Yeah.
which Alex got for me when he went back home, but I also own the one when he got in trouble. So it's just weird looking through the list of like what's going up in price. Um, my second Super Mario Brothers 3 game has gone way up in price. It's the one that came later where the bros is moved.
Yep.
Not that big of a deal, but it's gone way up in price.
Wow.
So, Whatnot's been great. I will say that if you're on Whatnot, just make sure you do your research of what the game's worth.
Yeah, because sometimes people overbid for no reason, and then like a game is like $70, and you're like, "That's a $30 game. Why are people bidding?"
Right. You gotta have self-control to win to like, okay, I'm done. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when I was bidding on Ren and Stimpy, I'm like, this is gonna be mine. I have never seen this
I've
game
done
out.
that before too. There are certain people on that app. I'm not gonna name names, but like where I'm in certain places and I bid something, and then I see them bid, and I never see them bid on anything until I start bidding. I'm like, you're just doing this to make the value go up, and this is really annoying. So I'm gonna keep bidding, and then sure enough, I have to pay more because you're trying to just make it go up because you're bidding to make it bid sake, and that's against
Right.
Whatnot policy. But you can't really prove that because they do buy stuff occasionally. Um, but yeah, it's just annoying.
I think it's also, what I've seen is, in chat and some of the NES ones that I follow that are just NES. Um, I mentioned one time like, oh my gosh, I want that game, and like people were really cool about bidding.
Yeah,
Um,
I did that as well. That's how I got the dot hack. Because people were bidding, and I requested it since it was in the back, and they're like, okay, anything on the shelf, and then they eventually found it, and I got it for like $10 or something because yeah, people are like, let him have it. He asked for it.
yeah, I think that's really cool. But what was it the other day? The one NES one I watched, they had a copy of Bonk
Mm,
on NES, and they opened it up to prove that it was a legit cart,
good.
and it went $6,000.
Yeah.
It's as a parent, I can't do it. Um, even my most expensive game, I did not pay full price for when I bought it.
Yeah.
Uh, and I know at some point the market's going to drop, but it's so weird because if you go to price chart, video game price charting, almost every video game system is going up. Like Wii is the next one. I feel like Wii games are going to go up in price.
Yeah.
And I've got quite a bit for my first Whatnot, and there's some ones in there that I didn't think were hits that are like that Pac-Man game I showed you.
Mm-hmm.
One just sold on eBay for $32.
You know what I think you should do next time that you do see that Bonk's Adventure? Do it.
My card, that would pretty much max my card out almost.
Mm.
I guarantee that fraud protection would be calling me right then and there.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fair. And then I'd be like, yes. I will say there are some weird things with Whatnot where you this happened to a friend of mine. Um, if you use PayPal, don't use PayPal and Whatnot because
yes,
if you do too many charges, PayPal will automatically be like, "Hey, we think this is fraud," and then it like tells the bank, and then like yeah, my friend went to the bank, and the bank was like, "No, your card's good." Like he told him like they're all real charges. It's just that there are a lot of tiny charges at once, and they got concerned. And but he still wasn't able to buy anything on his card for like a whole day.
yeah,
So like yeah, use your actual credit card on Whatnot.
yeah. And I will tell you, just bid responsible. Um, I've heard of people like getting a ton of cancellations.
Happens
And
all the
what?
time. There was someone who accidentally pre-bid like $1,000 on something on Sunday, and so they had to cancel the thing and then put it back up. Or they never actually canceled since it wasn't charged, but like they had to like remove the item and then add the item back.
Yeah.
But someone
Yeah.
immediately though was like, I accidentally hit this button because the app froze. And like, to be fair, the app is crappy at times. It won't
The
let me hit bid sometimes.
this one here, the second one I won, I saw on Alexis that I had bid like 30 something dollars and someone put in a $39 bid and it never showed up and I won. And that guy was pissed,
Hmm.
you know, that I won it. And I even said, sorry, I just was bidding like normal. And they're like, well, he won it. He's going to keep it. I know you're upset, but he won it.
Yep.
So that happens as well. But just bid responsible. Make sure that you're bidding on stuff that you actually have the money to pay for. Because as someone that's going to be a seller on there, that would suck to. And I had that on eBay all the time where people win an auction and
Hmm.
they're like, "Oh, hey, I don't want it now."
Yeah.
And so I go through the process of canceling it and then relisting it. But there were other people at that time that could have bought it.
Yep.
So a lot of these people that are selling on there, I see some of them are trying to do it full time. So just be aware of that.
Yep.
So
True.
talking about other things that are not good decisions, let's talk about Sony's tone deaf email, Alex. So Jim Ryan sent out an email to his staff respecting differences of opinions on abortion rights. Then he wrote 5 paragraphs about his 2 cats' birthdays, their habits, and a desire. Um, yeah, I mean, it's okay if you want to push what your thoughts are on Roe versus Wade. Um, respect. There's some other things in here. This is from Jason Shriver um, at Bloomberg that wrote this. There was a lot of things in this email that's not okay.
Hmm.
There's a lot of crazy stuff going on that we won't go into. It's pretty political, but there's a lot of things going on right now, and to associate the the Roe versus Wade with your cat's birthday, that's not okay on
Yeah.
any level.
It's belittling the actual events and things that are happening. Like it's yeah, like it's trivializing it, and that's horrible.
Yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of a short story to be honest. It's just like obviously like these kind of internal emails happen all the time, and they basically talk about how like yeah, it's a multifaceted and diverse place, holding many different viewpoints and all this stuff. We owe it to I'm just continuing reading like what he wrote. Like it, we owe it to each other and to PlayStation's millions of users to respect differences of opinion amongst everyone in our internal and external communities. Respect does not equal agreement, but it is fundamental to who we are as a company and as a valued global brand. Okay, sure. And then the have other things like in lighter news. Oh yeah, this is what he says. Would like to share something lighthearted to inspire everyone. Be mindful of having balance, and that it to be mindful of having balance that can help ease the stress of uncertain world events. And he just talks about how like, hey, it was my cat's birthday. I got cat birthday cakes, and I want to get a dog someday. Like this is complete utter BS. Um, like it's fine. I understand how certain big companies and stuff like don't want to do one way or the other because they don't want to lose out on money. Um, I get that. That's not how I necessarily am because I'm an individual, but I get that. However, to trivialize the whole situation and be like, I'm associating this horrible thing, like this all the stuff that's happening, and then
right,
also
right.
like, hey, here's cat things, ha ha ha, cats. Let's forget about that. No one cares about that Roe v. Wade or whatever. Let's talk about cats now because it's like, yeah, it's like that's no, that's not okay. Especially, it's interesting though because how Bungie recently declared it as a direct
Yeah,
attack on human rights in their blog post. And they said standing up for reproductive choices and liberty is not a difficult decision to make. But it's interesting as well because Sony has agreed to buy Bungie earlier this year. So
yeah.
it seems like because Bungie is in a weird place where they're not technically bought yet, they're kind of just allowed to say whatever. But it seems like in actual PlayStation in house, no one can really say whatever they believe in yet.
Yeah, and I imagine there's going to be a verbal apology made at some point, because these things leak.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that was an internal email that leaked out to the public. Yeah, there'll be a verbal apology that happens, and he will be sorry. And I don't think, and Alex and I have talked before, I don't think he wrote it with any malicious intent.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I myself have always been like, if there's a topic that is very controversial or things there, I usually don't talk about it unless I know enough information there, and I definitely don't make a joke after. You
Yeah.
know, uh, I, I really don't think he was thinking and just was like, oh, I'll bring this up as well. Um, there, but there'll be a verbal apology. Life will go on. I mean, Bobby Kotick is still around, and he's done far worse. Not to say that what he did was okay,
Mm-hmm.
but if he apologizes, in my mind, come apologize, maybe donate money somewhere,
So this
call it
is
a day.
another thing that did come up though. I don't know if it's actually in this because you brought up donating money. Um, Supposedly Sony matches donations, and from previous Sony people, I can't find exactly the thing here. I believe it was Kind of Funny who talked about it, as well as some Twitter posts. For Sony, they match donations for certain charities, and they flip flop. They match it for both sides
Did they
because
really?
they don't have stances. Yeah. So like if someone did um anti-abortion and then abortion, like Sony would match a certain amount of stuff. Which is baffling to me that the company doesn't necessarily have a certain stance. Like I don't know, like it's kind of weird then too because like I guess we're having a fight of who can donate the most to negate the
And
other.
I feel like Disney's, all these giant companies like this, they want to be neutral, and so to make it even, they do that. So that makes sense.
Yeah, but there
I don't
comes a certain point where you can't be neutral.
No, you
But
can't.
yeah, um, that's just something that wanted to bring up. Don't really want to get too much into the actual thing at hand because we are not a political podcast.
Yeah,
Even though it's not really politics, more of human rights. But we're also still like we're not that type of podcast. If you want to go and listen to something and get actual educated people to talk about that kind of stuff, there are plenty of
we
other
got
avenues to go and do that. You don't need to hear
yeah,
our bumbling opinions on things.
right, right. So I agree. I think he's going to come out with something and apologize. So
Yeah.
moving on to the next story. So a big event that happens in Chicago every year is the ACEN, Big Anime Convention.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they've there's been quite a bit. So at one point, you needed to show that you've been vaccinated, and you had to wear a mask,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had to have a test. And then out of the blue, they decided that they're not going to do that anymore. Nope, everything's open. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They got a lot of heat because this is a very large convention, and there's going to be a lot of people there. Even San Diego Comic Con is requiring all these things as we speak, right? For this year.
Yeah.
Um,
There are a lot of things about this. I'm trying to pull up stuff because I am not logged in as myself. It's bringing up other tweets that you may like or something, and some of them aren't safe for work. This was something that they said a while back. This was on April 29th. This wasn't even a month ago. Someone said, will your COVID policy change between now and the show? Just had to cancel tickets to a different show because they dropped their mask and vax requirements. I really don't want to have to do that for ACEN. No, our COVID safety guidelines will not change prior to the convention. Glad to hear it. And then yesterday, stuff happened here. Hang on, I need to scroll back up again, just in case. Um, yeah, and then they basically said like due to changes of COVID protocols by CDC, requirements by DESCC, which is the convention center. Donald E. Stevenson, I forget what it is. The convention center. We have a following update. Masks are now strongly recommended in all indoor locations. Proof of vaccination and negative COVID tests are no longer required. Okay, so like it's fine if like a company and stuff does things with prior notice necessarily.
Right.
However, like this was the week of the convention where people can't really make cancellations on any sort of hotel, plane tickets, all this kind of stuff, and it's one of the biggest conventions. So to have something like this happen is not good.
No, and switch it like that is not good at all.
Yeah,
If you make a rule and you gotta stick by your standing, then yes.
especially
I
when they said something just not even a month ago, and like they said it also on like the Facebook as well. Like someone also asked like because I went to a convention in New York earlier, and they had like wrist straps and stuff like that where like you proved your vaccination once and then you had a wrist strap for the rest of the event and you would just show that off. And someone was asking like, hey, can we still pick up our wrist straps on Thursday or something instead? And they're like, yeah, you can. And that was like not even a few weeks ago
right.
as well. um and then yeah, just changing it to this, but they did have some updates um today regarding this. So attention, ACEN attendees, we would like to clear up our current mask protocols. These are the locations where face coverings are required: all guest and panelist events, the dances, exhibit hall, artist alley, gaming hall. So like they kind of pedaled back on their thing, but it's just mask protocols. They're still not
Right.
requiring vaccination or test stuff at all, which is bad for something that is this big out of a convention. Um, because like even when I was in the anime NYC thing, I'm pretty sure actual yeah, you had to be vaccinated in order to get in. I don't think there was any exception. It wasn't even like recent COVID tests.
Right.
Maybe it was for like kids or something who like couldn't get them just yet. But yeah, you're still not requiring that. Then it stuff is like highly recommended. Like this, they basically pedaled back and like were more specific of like, oh, just kidding, masks are actually required everywhere essentially. Um, but like this doesn't yeah, this doesn't help because plenty of people have already canceled. Um, People are upset about the event in general, about being so flip floppy about this and wishy washy. Um, so like, what's to say like they won't change something again? Um,
Right, right.
so
I
yeah.
think this is where somebody didn't have their stuff together because if you're gonna make decisions on switching protocols for something like this where it's important, you got to make it before the week of.
So there
Uh,
were a lot of different things that leaked about this. I'm not really including people who spoke out. Supposedly, staff members didn't really know about any of this kind of stuff, and it was up to the board of this convention and stuff that really just decided on like, hey, we don't want to do this because it's too hard. It's too hard to do this kind of stuff. So yeah, so they pedaled back on this kind of stuff, but yeah. Um, it's annoying because people want to be safe, especially like people like yesterday were freaking out, like people in Artist Alley, people in exhibit halls who are going to be there all day. They want to be safe and they want to make sure that like they can't back out because this is too late for them to back out. Otherwise, they would eat a loss from having like a um, panel or a booth or what have you. But now everything's required, or mass at least required in those areas. So I guess that's good for those people who are kind of stuck. So that is something. But I'm curious how many people are dropping out because like they went back on their word and like did this so fast and random. Um, yeah, it's just a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Yeah, you can't really just trust this convention. I mean, you can't trust a lot of the conventions honestly anymore. So just
Well,
because
and
of these weird things.
it's sad because um, there are a lot of people that would want these safety protocols in, and Alex and I are not preaching on anything again, but when you have these protocols set, there are people that want to go to a convention with these protocols set
Yeah,
because it's a safety thing,
it is.
and changes the week of where it makes it difficult to not be able to lose money. That's not okay. So, um, you know, I hate when this happens when business takes over safety. It happens way more than it should.
Yep.
Um, that thing there sucks, and it sucks for the people that lost money off of it, like a lot of money. That's where it sucks.
Yeah.
Um,
And
you know,
it seems like there are quite a few people who are just now not necessarily boycotting it, but like yeah, just like not gonna go now. I guess that is kind of boycotting. Just like not going now out of spite because it's just like, well, you changed something once and you I don't know, like shame on you. Like I'm not trusting you ever again for
right?
something like this because like this could have been a lot worse and you could have if you said it like this then maybe people wouldn't have canceled in the first place but you didn't so
Well,
it's your
and I think
fault
it was
and you're gonna
Colin that
lose
always
money.
said Colin always said vote with your wallet.
Yeah,
So
well the
you
problem
know,
is as well you can't get refunds
yeah, that's the thing. It sucks.
because they did it the week of so you can't get refunds for my ticket personally. um we got rolled over um because I was originally going to go in 2020 and then it got canceled and then 2021 it got canceled and then I finally got a 2022 badge in the mail and stuff and I was thinking about maybe going a day maybe like I wasn't going to go with my normal people but like at least go a day um sometime that weekend but no I'm not now like especially just out of spite because like this is ridiculous like
Yep.
don't mess with the customer.
And if people don't show, then um, unfortunately, the vendors that are there that paid all the money to be there, they're gonna be like, we're not coming back next year.
Yeah,
This, so it will eventually hurt their wallet
yeah,
by doing that. So,
for sure.
well, moving on, let's talk about PlayStation Plus because they released their list of some of the things coming out. We have a date
Hmm.
when everything comes out. Uh, I am looking through this list here. First off, there's a lot of games.
There are
Um,
a lot of games, and I mean, I guess we can read off a lot of them. I mean, I guess I can if you want to just go through some of them here in a second. But yeah, this comes out. What was the date? June 10th or something.
June 12th, I thought.
Okay,
Um,
maybe. Yeah, I'm not seeing the date
but
here.
Alex and I actually looked at this list beforehand, had some conversations before. Um, and June 20. Oh, wait, wait. Um,
I don't know if this one actually tells us the date. I think it's just the list. This is annoying because it's a long
yeah,
June.
uh,
Let's see, launching just a week away in Asia, May 24th, followed by June 2nd, Japan, North and South America get June 13th. So June
June
13th for us, and June 23rd for Europe, Australia, New Zealand.
Yeah, and we were looking at the list. So they have it broken down by what category these come in.
Mm-hmm.
So the first list here has PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium and Deluxe plans. So if it's got like a double star next to it, it's a different one. Um, before we start going through the list, Alex and I noticed something that almost all of these games, except for a few, were already on PlayStation Now.
Yep, because this is just combining PlayStation Now with another service.
Right.
So right now it seems like it's just a lot of this costs us nothing and we'll get more money because you will spend money on PlayStation Now now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like there are like you said, yeah, those 3 services. But yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know about it. And we'll go into more detail here in a second after we go through all the games, but I'm not too sold on this just yet, I will say. Um
Yeah. I was under the understanding, my thought is they were gonna have a lot more PlayStation 3 games, and they were gonna have a lot more PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, was my thought.
they probably still could, but this is a launch and I guess they don't want to invest in a launch just yet, so they're just giving you all the PlayStation Now stuff that's already
Right.
available. Um I will say so like yeah, there are 3 plans. There's the extra, premium, and essential, I guess. Essential is what you already pay for PlayStation Plus. So if you're playing like $60, it says here a monthly refresh will occur the first Tuesday of the month for PlayStation Plus Essential player plan and higher tiers as well, with new PS4 and PS5 games added to the service. And yeah, that's exactly what happens right now. And then
Right.
yeah, the other things as will get you all the other games that are added to the service, as well as the things that you can add each month. So like you're getting everything. Once you go to the highest service, you are getting every single thing out of it.
Which I
And
think it was like 100 and trying to think of the price.
I
It wasn't
forget, we
120.
calculated it once.
I think it was $110 a year. 120 maybe.
I think it was 120 if you paid for it all at once. No, maybe it was cheaper. I think it was cheaper than that. I think it was more expensive if I think it was 120 if you did it monthly, but then if you did it something else, then it was like 90 or something weird like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Which isn't bad because now here's the thing is like I was reading some of the comments before with stuff when they were talking about this, and someone's like, "Well, Xbox Game Pass is $14.99 a month." Yes, but there's a lot on Xbox Game Pass, a lot of stuff, and like new releases on there.
yeah,
You know,
but also the annoying thing is with Xbox Game Pass, which is a good thing about this, I guess, is that Xbox Game Pass you can't buy yearly, you can only buy monthly. And
right?
honestly, I'm kind of thinking about canceling my Xbox Game Pass for now because I don't use it right now. So like I'm really thinking about canceling it here soon, at least for a while. Um, so like yeah, if they had a yearly thing, you want to get a cancellation out of me. But because you're making me do it monthly, I'm
Right.
thinking about it. Um,
And we could go through this list here. We'll just kind of take turns reading some of these off.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I guess I
Yeah,
can read the first list here. So this is for the extra and premium tiers, I guess. So premium will have 2 stars next to it. Um, let's see. Extra and premium. Okay, extra and premium is one thing, and then deluxe is another thing. Okay. That's annoying. Why is extra and premium like a name of something? That's one name.
yeah,
So yeah, this focuses on high quality titles. Um, into the PlayStation Plus service for players to enjoy. I'm pleased to share a selection of the content will be available for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium / Deluxe plans. PlayStation.com will be updated with this game list when it launches in your region. Um, so PlayStation's these are all pretty much PlayStation Studios games, and there's some third party stuff as well. So Alienation from Housemarque. I guess I'll say when it's PS5. Otherwise, everything else is going to be PS4. Bloodborne, Concrete Genie, Days Gone, Dead Nation Apocalypse Edition, Death Stranding, and Death Stranding Director's Cut. So yeah, PS4 and PS5, which is interesting because I kind of want to play Director's Cut. So to have a
yeah.
free way to play it, that'd be cool. Demon Souls for PS5. Destruction All Stars for PS5. Everybody's Golf, the game that they just shut down servers for. Um, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. So PS4 and PS5 versions of that. God of War, Gravity Rush 2. Okay. Gravity Rush Remastered. There we go. I was wondering what happened to Gravity Rush. Horizon Zero Dawn. Infamous First Light. Infamous Second Son. Knack, the big one. Little Big Planet 3. Loco Roco Remastered. Loco Roco 2 Remastered. Marvel Spider-Man. PS4, though. PS4 Marvel Spider-Man. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, PS5 and PS4 version. Matterfall, Medieval, Patapon Remastered, Patapon 2 Remastered, Resogun, Returnal, PS5 exclusive game, Shadow Colossus, the remake from Japan Studio, Tearaway Unfolded, Last Guardian, The Last of Us Remastered, The Last of Us Left Behind, which is the DLC, Until Dawn, Uncharted Nathan Drake Collection, Uncharted Thief's End, so Uncharted 4, and then Uncharted Lost Legacy, and then Wipeout Omega Collection, for PlayStation Studios stuff. Then for the third parties, it goes ACEN, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I guess is part of that like weird Ubisoft plan thing as
Yeah.
well, because like that's gonna be included within this PlayStation thing, which is mentioned in like a different article, I believe. So like that's why it has like 3 asterisks on here if you're looking at with us. Batman, Arkham Knight, Celeste, let's see, City Skylines, Control Ultimate Edition, so that's PS5 as well as PS4. Dead Cells, Far Cry 3 Remaster, Far Cry 4, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, For Honor, Hollow Knight, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, which is interesting, but I feel like that's going to everything right now. It's a good game. From what I played, I really enjoy it. See, that's PS5 and PS4. Mortal Kombat 11 for PS5 and PS4. They spelled this weird. Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4 for PS4. NBA 2K22, both systems 4 and 5. Outer Wilds, Red Dead Redemption 2, Resident Evil, the remake. Soul Calibur 6, South Park, The Fractured Butthole, the out that title, The Artful Escape, which is PS4 and PS5, The Crew 2, and Tom Clancy's The Division for PS4.
Now, we were also talking before that a lot of these games also have been PlayStation Plus already, or the PlayStation Plus when you get a PS5, they have that giant catalog.
Yeah.
Now,
City Skylines, Celeste, Control, Batman Arkham Knight, Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. Like, there's a bunch of these here.
Yeah. God of War.
Yeah.
But Death Stranding Director's Cut, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, those are some pretty big titles. Miles Morales is a big title. The Spider-Man on PS4 is kind of like now I bought Miles Morales. I bought the one that had everything,
Because I don't think you can buy the PS5 remastered.
I
think you can only buy it in the Miles Morales complete edition.
Yeah. And that's what I bought. It came with the Game of the Year edition digitally. Yep. And it looks amazing on the PS5.
It's so good. I love that game. It's better than Batman.
In some aspects, I would say yes.
Take it.
But I mean, those are some pretty good games. But I feel like it's not anything to be like, oh my gosh. Now here's where it gets crazy. So the classic games category is next: PlayStation Plus Premium and Deluxe. So here's where it gets a little much like I know we were talking about it earlier, but so these are PlayStation Plus Premium and Deluxe members will have a selection of popular games to play, with some titles will show improvement of frame rates and higher quality resolution compared to their original launch versions. For select PlayStation PSP Classic Games members will also enjoy a new user interface menu that allows you to save your game at any time or even rewind when you want to do a do-over. That is actually pretty cool to do. They have save states for everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's totally taken from Nintendo, because Nintendo has save states on their upgraded stuff there. So let's look at some of the list here. So we got PlayStation Studios. And these were all, if they're anything besides original PlayStation, I will say, but we got Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, IQ, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter, and Stardust Portable, which is a PSP title. Third parties, we have Mr. Drill, Tekken 2, Worms World Party, and then Worms on Armageddon. So those games, I guess wanting more. I guess I was wanting something more from
Mm.
PlayStation 1. There's like I wanted Tenchu. They already did Tekken 2, which is okay, but there are other better Tekken games than Tekken 2, you know?
Yeah,
They have such a library. Like I feel like this is just not a good list for these, you know what I mean?
I agree. Like this is just stuff that kind of already exists, so they're just like, this is easy. Let's just put it in here. Now I've been wanting to play Ape Escape again recently, although I don't know which Ape Escape this is, for that one, because I'm pretty sure the Ape Escape 2 for PS4, that I guess spoilers we're going to talk about here in a second. That's also on PS4 where you can buy it with trophies and stuff. They use the European version because there's something like with like the voice actors or something like
Yeah.
they don't want to pay them because it's the licensing or something, because like the voice actors, I guess, for Ape Escape 2 in particular, I don't know if it's the same thing with Ape Escape 1, but they were the voice actors from like the old like Pokemon games, or movie or TV show, anime. So like the main character I think was like Ash Ketchum, and then like Misty was the girl. So like it was just their voices. But then yeah, they had to change the names and stuff for our version, or for the newer version that we got. So yeah, I'm curious if there are any changes to any of these. I'm also curious if they talk about frame rate and stuff, but hopefully we are getting the original versions first as
Yeah.
well, unlike the PlayStation Classic thing that we got, which had a bunch of
Yes.
PAL, uh, you know, PAL ROMs on there. So then it was not good and very frame ratey because
Well,
PAL isn't 30 frames.
then they have the next two lists here are remasters. So
Yeah, these are all PS2 games. Or
yeah,
wait, actually,
PS4.
hold up. The first list are all PS2 games, I want to say.
Yeah,
Um,
they've been remastered and put on PS4. It looks like,
yeah.
uh, and that would be Ape Escape 2, like Alex was talking about, Arc the Lad, Dark Cloud 1 and 2, Fantavision, Hot Shots, Tennis, Jax 2, 3, X, Combat Racing, Jack and Daxter, the first one, Rogue Galaxy, Siren, and Wild Arms 3. And then the third party is Bioshock Remix, Borderlands Handsome Collection, Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, Kingdoms of Amalur, and then Lego Harry
I
Potter
wish it
Collection.
was Larry. Leisure Shoot
Yeah,
Larry.
oh,
Give me that.
those are definitely a Steam game.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like so far, like I was stoked for when they were gonna do this because I wanted PS2, I wanted even PSP because there was a lot of games that I just didn't play. Um, we had talked about, Crisis Core,
hmm
which would be a perfect game on there. And here we are. And now, granted, we have a couple weeks before the launch.
Yeah, we might get some
Not
sort
gonna
of
happen.
like plan for the future, similar to like how Nintendo does. We're like, here's our launch stuff, and then here are some titles that we plan on the future. We might get something
Yeah,
like that. Like
I
yeah,
think that's I think that's what's gonna have to make or break it. And as you read the PlayStation 3 ones, uh, this list is a little bit better, but not great. I feel like they missed on a lot of what they could put on there.
yeah. So these PS3 ones, yeah, the new PlayStation Plus will offer PS3 games to stream and play on PS4, PS5, and PC. These are not original, non-remastered versions of PS3 games. They're available with cloud streaming. Here's an early look at the selection of original PS3 games available.
Right.
So again, these are PS3 streaming games because they still can't figure out how to natively or emulate a PS3 on other architecture because it's so messed up on the way that they made them originally.
Yeah,
So anyway, PlayStation Studio games. I guess yeah, these are all PS3 games. So Crash Commando, Demon Souls, which is interesting. Like if you get the bigger version, you get both Demon Souls. That's kind of cool, in my
yeah,
opinion, because I like the first Demon Souls a lot. Echo Chrome, Hot Shots Golf, Out of Bounds, Hot Shot Golf World Invitation, Eco, Infamous, Infamous 2, Infamous Festival of Blood. That's cool. You're gonna get all the Infamous games. That's pretty cool. Loco Roco, Koro Retro. I don't know. I don't play Loco Roco. Motorstorm Apocalypse, Motorstorm RC, Puppeteer, which is weird because you also got Puppeteer Remastered. I think no, that was Tearaway. Never mind.
yeah. That's,
Same studio. Rain, Ratchet and Clank, Quest for Booty, Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in Time, Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus, Resistance 3, Super Stardust HD. So you're getting Super Stardust Portable earlier on PSP, and then you're also getting this one for PSP, and then now PS3. Tokyo Jungle, which interesting. When Vikings Attack, and now third-party people, Zura's Wrath, which is like one of the most expensive games right now. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, Devil May Cry HD Collection, Enslaved Odyssey to the West, which is like Journey to the West, but really interesting. Fear, Lost Planet 2, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. So is it just that version?
yeah. So
Okay.
you could buy when this came out. You could either add on to
Mm-hmm.
yours, or you could buy a disc, which is just this. Which here's what's weird.
That's weird because I've never
If
played
you
Undead Nightmare.
right, but if you never finished Red Dead Redemption, this is gonna be like a weird storyline. Um, but the cool thing was you got some really good guns. I used to play Red Dead Redemption all the time online,
Yeah,
and it
same
was
here.
cool on the zombie mode.
Hmm.
Uh, but they're like weird because they take a lot more shots to get down, and you usually don't have enough bullets.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
I stopped playing Red Dead Redemption, the original, before the zombie stuff came out. So yeah, I never got to play the zombie mode stuff. I'm not gonna start with PS3 here, to be honest. Because yeah, again, these are all streaming, and we all know how well streaming works for regular PlayStation now, and other stuff. And just imagine how it's gonna be here. It's probably not going to be super great. It's not going to be worth it unless they actually fix their architecture. It's probably worth it for PC, I guess.
yeah,
But
that is
like, yeah, it's not going to be worth it for like other people though, because like, yeah, unless they fix that architecture, and you don't have good internet, then like, yeah, no one's gonna buy into this part of it. But that's why they included this stuff with the PS1 and the PS2 stuff, because they knew that no one was gonna buy PS3 on their own. Um, that's why they made it more expensive for the final plan. Um, and then I guess I'll go to this last part here really quick. And then also with the final plan, you also get time limited game trials, which is interesting because everyone who I've heard talk about this, they're like, "Oh, you're just getting, oh cool, time game trials, awesome." So like they're just gonna flip a switch and a bunch of games will just have game trials. No, it's only like 6 games. um, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection, Horizon Forbidden West, or the PlayStation Studios one, which is weird because like Legacy of Thieves Collection, why would you play that as a trial? Like you have the PS4 games already. Like I guess they're not optimized for PS5, but like you already get the PS4 games included for free. So like I don't know. At this point, just add this to the
I
collection.
would. I mean, I would tell you that it is like a big significant difference graphically wise.
I agree, but at the same time, like why have this here if like this should just be a part of the collection already?
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Horizon Forbidden West. But yeah, these trials, like you can play it for 2 hours for most games, and the counter only counts while you're in the game, so you can stop and play, and all your save files and trophies and stuff will carry over to your actual purchase. So that is kind of cool. So yeah, there's also Cyberpunk 77, 2077, Farming Simulator 2, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and WWE 2K22, the game that Zach won't shut up about. Um, but yeah, there's a third party. Yeah, time limited game trials for that. It's interesting. It's not worth it, honestly. Like that's a dumb little thing to sprinkle on top. Um, for both of these plans.
And I feel like they're just dipping their feet into what this service is going to be about. They've always been like, this is our service, 3, 4 games a month, every month. That's it, right? And I feel
Yeah,
they're
I
just testing the water.
I guess, but it's too safe. Because
I
like you were saying, there's nothing really there to show us. Like there are a couple things here that are kind of interesting, like all the PS4 and PS5 games, but that's the medium tier. Like you don't need wait, oh, actually wait, no. The PS5 games you need the higher tier. But like the actually wait. Let me look at this. What games need that? No, this is the medium tier. Okay, so the extra and premium requires is for that's for like Assassin's Creed, like that's all for all the Ubisoft stuff. Okay. So yeah, the regular tier that gets you PS4 and PS5 or the medium tier that gets you the PS4 and PS5 games, like you could probably just live off of that if you really wanted to. Because these or just do the regular PlayStation Plus honestly, cuz none of the stuff is really doing it for me. Like I want to play Ape Escape, I want to play Ape Escape 2. I can probably just buy Ape Escape and Ape Escape 2 somewhere. They're expensive games now, but honestly, I'd rather just play them on the actual console at this
I mean,
point.
I guess my biggest disappointment comes from the PlayStation 1 and 2 games in PSP. I feel like there should have been more. But you are not kidding when it comes to like the PS3 games, Asura's Wrath, that thing's expensive. Um,
Yeah, but
you
it's
know,
also only streaming. So like it's not enticing.
yeah, but I like the PC aspect of it though, of being able to play on the PC. They just have to make sure it's working right. Um,
But I think PS Now you've been able to play on PC for quite a while. So like I don't think it's
yeah,
anything too new.
no.
It's just that now, yeah, it's underneath the PlayStation Plus umbrella. Um Yeah, I don't know. It's not doing it for me. If they give me more of lists, if they give me cooler PSP games and more PS1 games maybe that I'd actually be interested in, then maybe I'll do something about it.
It should
But
be interesting to see what happens in July. Like, so it's been out for about a month, not really a month, but and to see because it looks like the PlayStation Plus Essential is going to be like the same it was the first
yeah,
Tuesday of every month, right?
yep, yeah, it's the exact same thing that you're in right now.
Yeah,
Same price
but
and everything.
premium and deluxe are going to be more money, but it's gonna be in the middle of the month where they release those, right?
Yeah, I believe so. And then those though, since if you already have PlayStation Plus right now, you should be able to pay at that time for like a I forget what that's called. Um, I forget what that's called, but basically a cheaper price because it's already through the year.
Yeah,
Um, I can't think of what that term is
prorated.
called. Prorated. Thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
prorated price. Yeah. So like that's a thing that is happening. So they probably will get a ton of people just because it's already in the middle of the year. And so they're like, oh well, I'll try it for a prorated price, sure. But I don't know if I'm going to, just because yeah, there's nothing here that's really enticing me at all to grab it.
yeah, and I like I said, I was excited when they talked about PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, and PSP, and even PlayStation 3. And we were even talking like on PlayStation 3, they obviously have some Capcom games. So why not, Street Fighter Cross Tekken? Or, for the PlayStation 1, why not, Brave Fencer Musashi? Or for PSP, you know, there's just so many games that get it done. Now, granted, this doesn't come out till next month. Maybe we'll see something else
Who
between then. I doubt
knows?
we will.
Yeah.
But what should be interesting is July. July should be a bit interesting month because number one, they're gonna start pushing for this to be the next big thing for holiday. So I hope they do like a big show. I know right now Microsoft is already set to do a big show in June, which would
Hmm.
be E3. when Sony does their show, you know they're going to spend some time talking about this plan right here and what their overall plan is because this is a good look. Okay, this is what our plan is. Okay, but what I mean, is there more? Like, what is your plan going forward with this?
Okay, so I just noticed something. It's kind of been marketed poorly. So there is a plan here for classic games catalog, and that's for PS1 and PSP. The only PS2 games here, like I said earlier, are the remastered ones.
Yeah,
It makes me wonder if we're gonna see any more PS2 games, unless they are remastered with trophies.
I mean, I hope not because that's the whole point. It's everyone wants to play PS2.
Yep.
That that console was the highest selling console of all time. You have people that are my age now, and like even you, they grew up on the PlayStation 2, so
Yeah.
they need
All
to
these games.
yeah they need to add that because those games are just going up in value and it's hard to get. Plus, they have to buy the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Sony. Let's just see what happens in June. And I think, like I said, they're gonna spend some time on it with their presentation. If they do it in June, they do it in July. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was a lot for your ear holes.
It
Uh,
was.
it was a lot. We do want to do our shout out of the week. Our buddy Zach has a very good wrestling podcast called Squares of the Circle. I thoroughly enjoy it. Um, you know, Zach is a friend of the show, and if you guys could go and support him, they are on Facebook um, there. But check them out on all major platforms where you would get your podcast. Our podcast, the audio launches every Wednesday morning. We do this, and then Friday on our YouTube. Uh, check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter. Join the conversations there. Um, we also would love to get your guys' idea for topics. So if you have a topic idea, throw it out there. If you want us to do a whole show, yep. So visual people, we've got it pulled up here on Spotify. Great podcast.
Yep.
If you are into wrestling or anything like that, definitely check out their podcast. Um, but yeah, we would love to get topics from you guys. So hit us up on one of our platforms there. Um, I mean, that's all I've got. You got anything here, Alex?
Um. Yeah, just hit us up everywhere. Go to all of our socials. Yeah, if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, go ahead. Yeah, leave us comments and stuff like that. But yeah, we're on everything as well. So for sure, just check us out, do everything, all that, and next time, get at it.
Get at it.